Hey there, hello, and welcome back to my stream. Alex Preda here. Hope you had a good start of the day. I'll continue, of course, today with the mixing process that I started yesterday for staying here. Yeah, basically, I'm just going to do the mixing from scratch, and then you can follow with me what I'm doing step by step. A bit more interesting than just going through what has already been done. So yeah, in a way this will also be like an improved and fresh mix. So yesterday what I have done, I have organized a little bit the tracks in the project to prepare it for mixing. So now what I will do, I will dive a bit deeper into that, into the drums group, and make it well, group the other elements, because as you can see I have quite a lot of hats here, so I want to arrange them by the frequency spectrum. You know, I'm gonna start from low end to the high end, and after that I will really dive into the mixing. So I'm going to listen one by one. Of course, the kick is the kick, so yeah, it's gonna be on the low end. So for now, the beginning of the drums tracks, I always have the kick. And then of course the other elements, you know, like, well, I have the kick mid here because it goes together with the kick, so I think I'm gonna group these two tracks actually, and I'll just say kick. Oh, okay, yeah. Because those ones have to be treated as one element. Okay, and then I have low hats. Okay, let's see low hats. Well, actually, this is like a low perk, low hat fashion. Okay, then I have the symbol reversed. It's also pretty low, so yeah, I'm going to keep it there. I'm just looking now for any other low elements. This is pretty high, pretty high, pretty high, of course. Also pretty high. Yeah, that element also pretty high. Let's see. Okay, that's a bit low. The human head. Okay, the conga, then it goes higher in the, well, so it has to have priority, more on the low side. Let's see these other percussive elements. Yeah, that's pretty high. Anyway, I'm going to put it somewhere around here, also close to the conga. Andu Mladin has followed you. Salut, Andu. Merci. Cool. Alright, so now let's see the other elements. Cool, this one too. Welcome to the stream, Andu. Okay, now. Yeah, this is actually also pretty low, so I'm going to drag it, yeah, around there. And I had something else. Okay, I have the snares rolls, and they also have to have priority in the mixing, so it's gonna be a bit up here. Okay, that's pretty high actually, the white noise. Yeah, that also has to be there. I've got another white noise there. Okay, that's cool. So what I will actually do, I'm going to group all these hats together. Bronze Squad, yeah, well, I'm going to translate what the Bronze Squad said. He said, he or she, um, I usually make the mixing directly in the project, not on the stem level. Well, yeah, in the end, it's a preference, the way to do it. When you do it by stem, then you really group everything into the categories, the respective categories, and instead of having, I don't know, 40 tracks to put the levels down, adjust the levels, you mix on the stem level, and then you only have maybe 4 or 5 stems that you have to adjust level wise or even mixing wise, so even on a mastering level you can really improve it. So that's the benefit there. But it's, in the end, I mean, nothing is how do you call it, wrong. Any process is a good process. What am I writing here? Hats group. Yeah. I mean, when I want to be really quick with yeah, exactly, it's just a different way. When I want to be really quick with mixing, I'm also just doing it as I compose. So hats group, okay, cool. And now I have the this will be my effects group, and I'll just say FX group. And then of course I have my percussive elements there, but I'm just going to leave them as they are. The rides, actually I can also drop into the hats group. Yeah. I think now I have them organized pretty much. I'm going to mute everything, and then I'll start with one element at a time. Going to mix it. I'm going to drop in a fab filter 3 and try to see if there are any frequencies which are annoying. But first of all, I'm going to do a low cut. And I think I already have something on the group. Yeah, on the drum group. Actually, I always do this. This is a UAD plugin that I'm using. Yeah, it's running from my sound card, of course. And it's really cool to drop it on yeah, pretty much on everything, really. Also on the master bus I drop it sometimes because it just adds some warmth to the sound. Before I used to add the glue compressor, but then I have replaced with this one, and actually just with the basic settings, like the default settings, sounds really amazing. Okay, so let me test this kick and see if there are any disturbing frequencies. Okay. So there is already something there that bothers me a bit. Just going to put that down. Maybe a bit out from there. And then I have this other, okay, this sample. So then I can maybe do some low cut on this as well. There is a frequency there which seems to stick out. Maybe I'll just remove it. Yeah, just with the roll off on the high end, that should. Maybe that one a little bit out. Bam. Okay. Where do you usually cut the kick? Yeah, man, it really depends, huh? I cut it. So if you see it here, I mean, what I noticed is that with these plugins, if I cut more on the low end, so I want to essentially I want to remove the low end that you don't hear. I mean that's the rule in a way. Well, yes, that's what you think. 20, 25, yeah, the frequency is useless. But if you go higher with the cutting, let's say when I would cut, I hear the difference. Huh? So if I cut like this, I don't know if you can hear if it comes across. But check this out. I'm just going to. So now it sounds like this. I don't know if you can hear the frequency, but for me, it cuts a bit too much from the low end when I do this. So if I put it a bit more around there, I keep more of that. I don't know. There is this roundness on the low end, and yeah, exactly. It sounds a bit tighter, but you also have this roundness on the low end, which I hear it. You know, when I go like I don't know, let's say 20, 25. No, it's a low kick, a low cut. So I prefer to leave it a bit lower, like that. Yeah, that sounds good. And it really depends on the kick, but on this particular kick, that's how, yeah, it sounds good to me. With some kicks, I go even more, you know, I even remove, I don't know, up to 40 or so. Not entirely, but just like, you know, gently rolling off from starting from that point on. And what's also interesting to check, I'm not entirely sure, but it's interesting to check like the sound system in the clubs at what how do you call it, when do they start to actually roll off the low end, you know? That's very interesting to know. Anyway, you don't want to have on the low end too much, that's for sure. Okay, so this is already side chained, and I have a Tora verb on it. I think this particular percussion, I like it like that. Maybe roll a bit off from here. Yeah. Now what I'm essentially doing, just looking for the frequencies that are annoying me. That's okay there. What I also want to do, I think I'm going to make a shadow kick, well, a side chain actually. And I'm gonna use this side chain some of the elements. So that side chain, and I'm going to put it on hide and mute and leave it there. Yeah, I think it's a matter of taste, sound system, you know, etc. And you also have I was speaking to one producer and he was telling me about the mixing or even listening with this bass pack. And yeah, it's amazing actually. I'd like to try that also. You have this suits you can put on, and then you feel the sub bass in the suit in form of vibration. And then of course it's connected to a sound system, so everything is properly synchronized. But that's really interesting, because ultimately in the club, I mean, you hear some of the bass, but most of it is just energy that hits you. I think for this lower percussion, I wanna add some delay. So let me see. I'm going to drop in a return track, and I'm going to add a special delay that I like. I actually have saved one here. The CLA unplugged from Waves plus Q3 filter. So yeah, because I'm going to tune out, and I'll be back anyway tomorrow at the same time. So if you wanna check out how this mixing is progressing, tune in.